Chris Christensen, not involved in the cup final on Sunday. Will he be involved tomorrow or on the weekend? And can you tell us why he wasn't involved?
Not sure yet if he's involved tomorrow and on the weekend. Well, Andreas came in the morning of the match and to inform me or to speak to me, and told me that he's not ready to play the match and to not start the match and to don't be on the bench. He had his reasons. They stay private and confidential, but it was not the first time, as you can see over the last weeks, that we had some of the same situations. That's why he did not play so regularly over the last weeks. We thought that we are in a good progression and are in a good development, because he played very, very strong in the match before the final against Leeds. But the conversation took place. We had to respect it, and we of course respected it. And he has still our support, but for tomorrow I'm not sure.
And the weekend, probably unlikely as well?
Yeah, probably unlikely. I mean, it was on very short notice now before the cup final, and not only before this match, even other matches like in the weeks before. So it's no chance I have any prediction what will be tomorrow on the weekend.
Can I ask about other players that may or may not be available? Kai Havertz, will he be fit tomorrow?
Kai tries today in training. He did individual training yesterday, was not in team training, so still a big question mark. Timo is out with hamstring. Ben Chilwell was back in team training, which was very, very good news yesterday, and a big uplift for everybody, and well deserved, and so nice to see him back in training. But of course he's not available for the match, and as you can imagine, and everybody could preview that Kova had a big swollen ankle after the match and did not train yesterday, so not sure that he will be available.
And just on Ben Chilwell quickly, how good would it be to have him back next season? Obviously been out for such a long time.
We are desperate to have him back. He's one of our key players. At the same time, we are very impatient and very happy that he's back, and we're looking forward to it, and we are excited. At the same time, we have to be patient, because it is a big injury still, and it is a long time when he was out. So hopefully he can reach his level quickly, as quick as possible. But he will need pre-season. He will need our patience and our support. And this will start from July on.
Thank you. Moose.
Thomas, you say that Christensen didn't tell you until Saturday morning that he didn't want to play in the cup final. Firstly, do you find it really strange that someone...
I don't think it's that he does not want to play. He was not able to play.
Okay.
It's a huge... Yeah, it's a big difference.
Okay. Should he not have told you beforehand?
We had more than this conversation, but on Saturday morning he finally told me.
How do you approach tomorrow night's game and Sunday's game? Because obviously, on the face of it, there is little for Chelsea to play for.
Yeah, but my feeling was that we were the whole season in position 1, 2, and 3. Somebody told me that we were for 1 week on place number 4. So I thought we were not. So it's not a good moment to start now to be forced. We still have to play for us and for our demands and for our fans and most important for our expectations, what we demand of ourselves. We are very happy that we secured, of course, a top 4 place. This is the first target when we start the season, what we play for. But still, there's 2 home games, and we will do everything to win them for our feeling, for our supporters, and for a positive end of the season.
Have you had to have any conversations this week with Ruben Loftus-Cheek after the cup final?
No, why?
He came on and then you came off.
This was a 10-second conversation on the pitch, and a half-a-minute conversation after the match. We just put Ross in for penalties. That was just a penalty decision. I think in doubt I'm not sure if he was he would have been happy to shoot the penalty. He was not on the list, and giving was due to statistics. So there's zero hard feelings and zero issue to talk about.
And finally, how much are you going to use the next 2 games to maybe build or look forward to next season? I mean, you've obviously got players still to come back who've been out on loan who would have impressed, like Conor Gallagher. But how much with the players you've got here is the next?
We will not play Conor Gallagher the next 2 matches.
I realise that.
And then we will like.
I love these end of season pressures. No, I mean, you know what I mean. In terms of the players you can.
Not sure yet. Actually, now that you ask me, not sure yet. I'm normally used to do what's best for the next game and not do what's best for maybe and whatever. The guys who deserve, and let's see. We have 1 more training to go, and the situation changed slightly for us. To, like you said, it's now we are safe since Newcastle beat Arsenal. We are safe in top 4. We come from where we come from a big cup final. We have players who are out for injury, but who will be out next season. So let's see. But everybody deserves also to play. For example, Tony would deserve to play. It's no need now to not let him to not give him the last matches, because he was huge for us and influential. So let's see. Let's wait. Let's see how everybody feels about it and who's hungry also to perform. And this will be the most decisive factor in the lineup.
John, 5 Live.
Hi Thomas.
Hi.
Just one more on Andreas.
Yeah.
How let down did you feel and the team feel by his behaviour? And presumably he wasn't in the right frame of mind. Presumably that's why he wasn't able to play.
We had to accept it, and we will accept it. And it's I try the best I can to not take things personal, and I still believe that Andreas wanted to play these kind of matches. I still believe that he could in terms of potential and what he gave to the team. That's why he was a key player for us, and he struggled over the last weeks, as you can see in when he was not in the squad or when he was like not playing, although he was physically available, so not being injured physically. So that was not completely out of the blue sky, and that's why it was it was how can I'm missing maybe the word here, like it was not the ideal scenario for us, because we thought we prepared him in the best way possible, and with the game in Leeds where he managed a lot of pressure on us in a very impressive way. We thought we have him available, and he is a key player. And if you arrive in a final against Liverpool, you want all your players available, which was not the case.
And how are the players after Saturday? Because it's only human that it's going to take quite some getting over what happened. And how important is it going to be to motivate them to go again for a game that is? And still, I feel different levels of disappointment after matches. And after finals and after losses in general, everybody was very disappointed and sad. At the same time, we had again the feeling that we left everything out there. So there is a different level of disappointment. Of course, we were so close, and arguably we deserved more in these 2 finals, but Liverpool deserved as well. So we had no regrets. Again, we had no regrets, and I think this is a level of disappointment and a level of like a loss where you can get over quickly and you can continue, because you are okay with yourself, and that's actually what we demand of ourselves and what we demand of them. And let's see for tomorrow. Yesterday's training was good. Was in an atmosphere that we want, and was looking up front, and we had 2 days two days off to digest it, and we want absolutely to be ready tomorrow. And just one on the takeover, it seems there have potentially been a few hitches along the way recently. Do you know anything about it? Are you giving assurances about it? Are you concerned what's going to happen with it?
I'm aware, but I have no new informations, and I have not been informed about like the character of the issues that have obviously arrived. So let's wait and see, I think. And I'm still convinced that it's in good hands. It's not in my hands, but hopefully in good hands, in better hands than in my hands.
hopefully it will go through as quickly as possible.
Just one last one on the loan players, Conor Gallagher,
Yeah.
Rojan. Are they going to come back? Do you expect them to be both part of your squad next season?
First of all, they will come back for sure because they are our players, and when we give them on loan, we do this for them, but also for us, to have better players, more experienced players back, and they are our players, and I want to have them in pre-season, and in pre-season we decide what's going on. It's heavily linked to them. It's heavily linked to how they integrate and what they do, and what our ideas are for them, and what they want to reach, and it's heavily linked to our sanctions and to the situation around the club. So it's too early to predict the future for them, giving the role of the whole season, but they will be back in pre-season, that's for sure.
For Charlie.
I interviewed Kovacic yesterday, and he said to me he feels this season has been a success. 2 trophies won, 2
Yeah.
more cup finals reached, and of course Champions League football. How would you describe the season?
Well, the season not yet finished, but of course we are I refuse to judge the season by two penalty shootouts. If we won penalty shootouts, not only games but just penalty shootouts, it would maybe one of the most successful season with 4 titles that you can ever play. Okay, so now we lose 2 penalty shootouts. That does not make it less impressive what effort the team put in and what success the team installed to reach these finals. But we are the first to admit that it's not the same to play a final and to win a final, and we are the first ones to admit that we are here to win trophies, and that we compete on this kind of level, not just to compete but also to win. So it's a bit like imbalance in judging the season, given the circumstances, starting from very unique season again, we struggle with Corona, long-term injuries, and then comes a situation after the Club World Cup where nobody could predict, a war that had huge effect on our club in particular. So in the end, I think it's always the most important to look in the mirror after the season and find out if you gave everything, if everybody lived it up to the fullest. I think we did this. That's why I told also to the team after the cup final that I'm okay, and I'm proud on how we played these cup finals, on how we go toe to toe with maybe one of the best teams now in the world at the moment, and giving our situation, how we arrived there and how we played there, and that will not change. There's always room for improvement. We are the first to admit it. But we arrived, for example, in this cup game with key players already out, with players not available, with key players like N'Golo, Matteo, with 1 or maybe only a half a training session. Taking this into account is with the club sanctions. There are a lot of things which are quite impressive, and we should not. And hopefully we managed. Hopefully we managed to become third. So there is progression in it. We have constantly been in the top 3 in the toughest league. We now compete with maybe the best teams who have ever played in this league. And from there we go. So put it into perspective. I think there's no need to lose sleep after the season in terms we should have done this and this and this. But there's a lot of ambition in us that is not satisfied, of course. And from there we go, and I think it's good to admit it and not be too worried about it. That we don't do this. We will never if I say that is at some level okay and good what we did, and maybe some level very good. There's always room for improvement. We will not relax, and we will not give in too early.
Just one on Leicester. They've had a really up and down season.
Yeah.
So far. Are you expecting quite an open game tomorrow night?
Not sure if I like open games so much, but they found their form back, and they score a lot lately. And they had a very up and down season, but in their top level, they're a dangerous team to everybody. They can hurt you in seconds with quality, speed, and a very attacking mindset, very fluid attack. So we will prepare for the very best version of Leicester, and we will need the very best version of us to be competitive. I don't want to predict the game because I don't know what's coming. So let's be open for everything, and hopefully we find answers to the questions that are asked during the match.
Nick, PA.
Thomas, with Andreas, is it important that...
Nick, can I just stop there? We've done 5 on Andreas. We're not going to talk about Andreas anymore. So if you've got anything else, we can ask. Otherwise, we'll move on.
Yeah, okay, no problem. At this point in the season, like you said, it's sort of too early to judge. But can you sort of even start to think about where you'll be on the first day of next season? And are you hopeful that everything will be back to normal?
Yeah, we are hoping, but we are at the minute we are not, of course. And you ask many times if we have a delay in approaching players and in making plans. Yeah, of course, huge delay. And we are affected by it, by key players out. So we are rebuilding. We are not improving the squad. We are rebuilding the squad. So this is always challenging. But we are up for the challenge. I don't know where we are from day one. What I can promise that I will be here, if I can promise that. I will be here with full energy and positive energy, no matter what. So we will still work for Chelsea, and I refuse to think in negative scenarios. We will be competitive on which level we will see, and then on how the delay and how the sanctions will actually affect us. There is a risk that it affects us. It will be very challenging to make up the disadvantage, giving the situation of other teams, of the other two teams, City and Liverpool, who are like already improving their squad and set one benchmark after the other in all aspects of the game in the most difficult league. So things are not easier for us, but and normally I would say we arrive in good spirit and the right mindset in the first day of preparation, and then we do what we always do. We create an atmosphere, we create a work ethic, and then we put all in to be ready on the first match day of Premier League to win the game.
Okay, last two, Nizar and then James to finish.
Thomas, you didn't mention Callum Hudson-Odoi earlier. I just wondered how is he, and are you worried about his development as well, because he's been out for so long now, and these are key months. Yeah,
he just dropped out of the squad from one day to another, more or less, and he's still in individual training, progressing, but not in team training. So he will come earlier, like Ben Chilwell, earlier in pre-season to start an individual program to be back on the 2nd of July with team training.
Last question, James.
You mentioned the 2 days off you've had. I just wondered what you did personally during that to sort of digest them.
I have to think about it, actually. Sunday I did exactly nothing, and on Monday more or less the same, I guess.
Did you watch it back, or did you start thinking about it?
No, not yet. I was not ready for it.
Does it get any easier to process those final defeats?
It does for me personally, but I'm only speaking for myself. It does in the moment where I feel actually already on the sideline, but also after the whistle that we have lived up to the fullest. So at this point, I can have freedom with it. I will never like it, the feeling, and I'm of course nobody. I'm disappointed. I'm gutted. I'm whatever. But it's like I said, it's a different level of disappointment. I'm not angry, and I'm not like not angry on myself. Also, like it's just like, okay, we played another 120 minutes. And of course we will analyze it again, and we will look into it. It gives us a view on what we are capable of. But there was much more positive and much more than negative and anger in it. So I just, like I said, I tried to relax physically because we had the chance. And did absolutely normal stuff and went on from there to go into the last week where you like a last week like this, where the tension is not the highest, around you. You need to take care also about like organization stuff within the club, around the team, like to fix the dates, to talk about the pre-season. Like these things like kick in now and take a huge amount of the time. And this is what we do at the moment. So there's at the moment no looking back to the final.
Okay.